Imagine this, you're scrolling through the news and you stumble across a juicy article about celebrities' secret love life. Before you know it, you're 10 tabs deep into their dog's Instagram account. Isn't familiar? Well, this is what media does. Obscures boundaries in between public interest and private life. Hello to the ongoing challenge in ethical journalism, one of the worst dilemmas in media domain in general. Balance between freedom of expression and privacy rights. It's a tricky one, so grab a coffee, sit tight, and let's get into this mess. A quick note, I'm a media studies student. This video is primarily made for my media law course, just for you to know. Okay, here's the deal. On the one hand, freedom of expression lets the media speak truth to power, inform and sometimes enlighten people, expose corruption, and let's be honest, gives us our daily dose of dopamine. Without it, no Watergate scandal, no whistleblowers, no accountability. We'd be living in the dark ages of boring. But on the other hand, privacy is what stops people from knowing way too much about you. Imagine if your boss could read your texts, or your neighbors had your medical records. Sounds terrifying, right? That's why privacy is protected by the laws like the GDPR or Article 8 of the European Convention on Human Rights. And here's where it gets messy. The media argues, hey, the public needs to know this. But the person being reported on says, whoa, not cool. This is my private life. And guess what? Both are kind of right. This debate matters because it defines the media's power and our personal boundaries. Without free press, corruption thrives. But without privacy, our lives become an open book. And not the fun kind. More like a book with zero plot, too many footnotes, and lots of embarrassing photos. Here is the twist. Not everything in the public interest is actually interesting or needed. A politician misusing public funds? That's a story. But a politician's beach vacation? Unless they're testing nuclear bombs and flip-flops, that's just gossip. How do we balance this? Is it even possible? Yes, it is. Let's break it down. Legal frameworks. Laws should outline what's fair game and what's off limits. For example, the UK courts ruled against tabloids publishing topless photos of Kate Middleton because duh. But when the media exposed corruption in FIFA, totally justified. It's about accurately weighing public interest against private harm or interest. Or alternatively, what I personally think, weighing private harm against the necessity of information for the public. If, let's say, a journalist is informing just for the sake of informing, it doesn't bring as much value to the public as harm to a private figure, then it is not really good. Yet, even if he or she does bring as much value as harm, or even more value than harm, it still cannot be objectively justified. Just because you benefit 100 people at the expense of one does not necessarily mean you are doing the right thing. The second point. Journalists need to ask themselves, am I informing the public or just feeding the curiosity? Like uncovering illegal activities? Good. Spying on someone's wedding? Creepy. Common sense. And honestly, we need a little common sense here. I know it's relative, I know it's subjective, but public figures might have less privacy, but they're not reality TV contestants 24/7. Let's give them a breather. Some space, okay? They're still humans like us, maybe. Just let them be. Don't you have your own life? And the worst thing than invading private space of public figures is invading private space of private figures. Yeah, I've been talking about celebrities most of the time, but forgot about private individuals who might become involved in reported events and eventually become targets of the public and media outlets. Thus, whatever I have mentioned so far applies to both private citizens and public figures. Speaking of public figures, you know the tragedy of Princess Diana and intrusive tabloids. Constant invasions of her privacy ultimately led to her tragic end. Privacy should have been protected, but the media went way too far. I contrast that with Edward Snowden. He leaked classified documents exposing government surveillance. Huge violation of privacy. But he argued it was in the public interest. Freedom of expression won that round. So there you have it. Depending on the situation, one might be more preferable than the other. Balancing freedom of expression and privacy rights isn't easy. It's like playing referee in a never-ending boxing match, but with clear laws, ethical journalism, and a sprinkle of common sense, we can keep both sides in check. And remember, just because it's interesting doesn't mean it's in public interest. And remember, free speech doesn't mean responsible speech. So the next time you see a scandalous headline, ask yourself, is this news or just noise? Let me know in the comments, what would you prioritize, privacy or freedom, or, both? Thanks for watching, like and subscribe.